guys, what's up? For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who do, my name's Ashley and today I am going to be doing my first ever book haul. I have never been the person to go into Barnes & Noble and buy like 4 books at a time and then go on Amazon and order like 7 and have like 70 books in my house at a time that are brand new. Like, no, I have never been that person. For some reason, after building a bookshelf and after collecting a bunch of books, I have decided that this is the person I have become. Just the other day I was in Barnes & Noble with my mom. I got there a little earlier than she did. By the time she got there, I had 6 books in my arms that I really wanted to buy just because I've heard such great things about these books. I ended up buying like 2 or 3, but still, I'm pretty sure my wallet hates me right now. So I have how many books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 books in this book haul, and even though that isn't like a whole bunch of books, like it's a lot for me. Let's just get right into it. So the first book that I have is the beginning of a series that I've heard so much about, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I've heard that it's really great. I've heard that the books kind of get a little worse over time. I've heard that the books get better over time, and I figured that the only way to find out for sure was to read it myself, and so I bought the first book. In other book hauls, people kind of explain what the book is about. I know this one, without even reading the excerpt, is about a girl named Selena, maybe, with a C. Don't really remember that. And she's some kind of an assassin, maybe. That's about all I got, but assassin sounds good to me. The next book that I have is one that I've been really excited to read, and that is This Is Where It Ends by Marieke Nijkamp. I am so sorry, because I know that I butchered that so horribly. This book is about a school shooting. Just the tagline on it gives me like the chills. Everyone has a reason to fear the boy with the gun. Like, how terrifying does that sound? Just that one sentence. And just the cover, like, do you see this cover? It's so simplistic, but it's so beautiful. Like, I need to read it. I know that it's told from 4 different point of views, and it's all about a school shooting, and I need to read it. I really do. So the next book that I have is one that my mom and I picked up in Barnes & Noble when we went, and I had like 6 books in my hands. You remember that story that I just told. That book is Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. I don't really like The Wizard of Oz. I've never really been a fan of The Wizard of Oz, which is probably why this book and this series like calls out to me so much, because it's a reverse Wizard of Oz, kind of. It follows this girl, Amy, who's been recruited by the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked, and it's this reverse Wizard of Oz where Dorothy has taken power. The good witches can't be trusted, and wicked witches just might be the good guys. And she is given this mission, and she has to remove the Tin Woodman's heart, steal the Scarecrow's brain, take the Lion's courage, and then Dorothy must die. Sounds interesting, and I really can't wait to read it. Like, oh my god. So the next 2 books that I have are ones that I've heard so much about. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins and Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I've heard so much about these books. Oh my gosh. And they're 2 of the 4 books in my contemporary collection, which is like half of my contemporary collection. I have no idea what either of them are about. I know that Anna gets shipped off to boarding school in Paris and meets a French boy. I don't know anything about Lola. I am assuming she meets the boy next door, but you know, don't judge a book by its cover. I've just heard so many great things about Stephanie Perkins. I've heard that her stories are so cutesy and fun, and nothing bad happens in them, at least I think. The covers are so pretty. Like, I've seen the original covers. They're not that bad, but they're really bad at the same time. These books are just so beautiful, and I know that there's Isla and the Happily Ever After, and I'm meaning to get that one too, but I'm just so excited. Oh yeah, and these are ones that my mom actually bought me in Barnes & Noble after I picked up like 6 books, so thank you, Mom. So the next book that I have is one that I haven't really heard a lot about, and that is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I really love this cover because, again, it's like really simplistic, kind of, that there's really not a lot going on. I know it's about twins. That's about all I got. This is the 3rd contemporary novel. out of 4 that I own, which I talked about in my last video, my booktube newbie tag, so go check that out if you want. Look at that! Look at it! It's orange and white! It's not very beautiful, but it's still beautiful. It's not boring. I can't put this back on. I'm not gonna do it on camera. So getting to my second to last book, I have here Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I've heard a lot of things about Alexandra Bracken. I really, really want to read her Darkest Minds series, but I just haven't gotten my hands on it yet. So I thought that Passenger would be my next best choice if I wanted to read something by Alexandra Bracken. I think it's about time travel, right? I'm really bad with summaries of books that I haven't read yet, as you can probably tell by now. I think I heard from somewhere that this is going to be a duology, so there's a second book that's coming out this year maybe. I really want to read something by Alexandra Bracken, and I figured this was my next best choice. Lastly, I have the book that I'm probably most excited to read, and that is Illuminae by I messed it up already. Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have wanted to read this book ever since I saw it, just the first time I saw it. There are a lot of reasons I want to read this book. One is that it's pretty big, so you're gonna get a lot in it. The second one is that it's the first book in a series. I don't know how many books there are going to be because I haven't really looked that up yet, but I know that the second one is probably going to be released this year, maybe? I don't know. I probably should have done my research before I did this video. Everybody does this in their videos, so I felt like I needed to. Look at it! It's so pretty! Oh my gosh! I think I might just put it on my shelf like this, like without this. My mom and my sister, and they just kind of looked at me like, what's so special about that, Ashley? It's a book. And I'm like, no, but look at it! The last thing that I'm most excited for about this book is that it's told through emails and through IMing. It's not told in narrative book format. I just did... Yeah. So that's it for the book haul. I was going to do an April wrap-up, May TBR kind of video alone, but considering that I only read one book during April because my schedule was so crazy with working and school, and I decided I would just include them in this video because if I'm already making a video, why not add an extra 2 minutes explaining what I read and what I'm going to read. So the book that I read for April was Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. I loved this book. I'm gonna have a book talk up for this soon. Probably within the week because that's the next video I was planning on filming. As for May TBR, I was planning on reading A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. My sister has other plans for me, with the mention of a single book series, The Raven Cycle. She really, really, really wanted me to read them. And so I decided, well, I've got May, why not? So I am going to read The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't really know what it's about. Psychics, I think. Blue Sergeant and Gansey and Ronin and Adam, I think. She keeps talking to me about it and I have no idea who these characters are, and I'm like, if you're gonna keep telling me about it and if you're gonna keep trying to spoil me, I need to read the book so that you can't do that to me. You can't exactly read The Raven Boys without reading The Dream Thieves too. And you can't read The Dream Thieves without also reading Blue Lily Lily Blue. And then, of course, because it just came out, you can't read every one of them without reading the final, The Raven King. I will have book talks up for every single one of the Raven Cycle books that may or may not include my sister. It depends on how much I can bribe her to be in a video with me. So that's it for this video. Comment below if you have read any of these books, if you have any thoughts on them, if you want to read them, or if you just want to talk about anything. Comment, subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. My name is Ashley. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!